Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Sarah Wynn, Vice President of Client Services at Upward PR. I'm excited to have Steve Clayton, the co-founder and CEO of NetBlaze, joining us today for this edition of Perfect. So welcome, Steve.
Thank you.
Awesome. So you've worked in the information systems field within corporate America for 19 years, and then you became a serial entrepreneur and started or co-founded 6 different startups, one of those being NetBlaze, which is obviously where we work together. So tell us a little bit more about NetBlaze and why you started and founded the company.
Sure. I think, one important thing is to always turn your phone off when you're on something like this. So, when I left corporate, as I said, or as you said, we started a bunch of different companies, and sort of the core competency of those companies was always around direct response marketing and online marketing, digital marketing. And so, but what for me is I kept, particularly dinner parties or other sort of, social events. At the, hey, can you take a look at this rash? Because it quickly became clear to me that it was a very underserved population, and they had no idea. They really didn't know what they didn't know, and they had no idea where to begin, but they were pretty sure it was important for them to, be involved in digital marketing for obvious reasons. But, they were trying to figure out if they should be tweeting or, Facebook posting or paid advertising. I mean, there's so many different things you could do. So it just seemed to me that there was an incredible need for some, kind of just like, hey, this is what you ought to do in a very easy package, an app, in this case, a SaaS company, an app, at a reasonable price. Because that was the other thing, is that these folks, they're mostly operating on a shoestring, and they want to save money wherever they can. So it's also really important for them to understand exactly what it's getting them, what's the return on investment.
Definitely.
And that was also a struggle for these folks. So anyway, all of that is just to say that there seemed to be an incredible need once people who were business owners found out sort of what my specialty was, what my area of expertise was. They were like, oh, wow, what should I be doing? And that's how we created NetBlaze, to try and answer that question.
And I think that actually flows into my next question, because I know you're very passionate from working together on the 80-20 rule. And I think that's a little bit of what people were missing, is where do I start? What do I do? What do I focus my energy on? So
Right.
I'd love for you to expand a little bit on that, not only for the business, but also you personally.
Yeah. I think it's something that we, use all the time. I'm sure most people do in business and in life. Let's do the 20% of the work that gets us the 80% of results. But I think it's very, very appropriate for digital marketing for small business owners, because there's so many things that they could be doing. Tweeting is a great example. And I always joke with people. I say, look, if your last name's not Kardashian, really don't bother. He wants to read tweets from the pizza guy, So I also encourage people to think about, well, what would you do if you needed to find a plumber, and it's it's 4 p.m. or something, and you've got a plumbing problem? Well, it's pretty straightforward what you do, right? You would go to Google and you type in plumber, or you type in plumber near me, and everybody knows Google's so smart. They know exactly what you're looking for. It's going to come up with plumbers in the area. It's going to show a little map. It's going to have, the top 3 or 6 of them, depending on what device you're looking at. And it's going to have reviews and, the hours and the contact information in their website. And so, when we built NetBlaze, and when we all business owners, we tell them, we're like, look, you don't need to worry about all this other stuff. Just take it off your shoulders, and just worry about that 20% of stuff that's important, that's going to get you the most new customers. It's going to allow you to keep the customers you have, and it's going to allow you to get as much, revenue and business from your existing customers. And that's really all about search engine optimization, specifically now for the local queries, those things that people type into Google that result in the 6-pack, as we call it, with all the reviews. So SEO for local, reputation management, making sure you're all over reviews, making sure you're getting them in the right places, making sure you're maintaining 4 or 5 stars. That's critical. And then like a CRM system.
I feel like also have adapted to the 80/20 rule a little bit for your campaign specifically, spending a lot of our time on those publications that are actually going to move the needle for you. So we'll get into that in a little bit, but I do want to chat because I think a lot of clients and potential clients are similar to where you started. COVID obviously impacted your business, and then there were some initial hesitations with PR, but I think there was the foundational understanding that brand awareness was going to help build back up the company, get more customers. So I'd love for you to share more because, like I said, I think other clients are in the same boat where PR is not a science, so it's hard to really measure that ROI, but more on your hesitations and then obviously how we've overcome them working together.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I'm pretty skeptical of PR, much in the way that a lot of people are skeptical of search engine optimization. Because you're right, it's not a science. Digital, direct response marketing, that is a science.
Yeah.
And so you very much see what you put in, you see what comes out, you can measure, you can split test, you can do all that kind of stuff. It's a science. And PR is not. And I think that a lot of PR companies basically are glorified press distribution systems. And that's not something that we need. We certainly don't need to pay for that. That's easy, right? So I was skeptical at first, and but then but I've been real pleased. With our working relationship, because I feel like it's been collaborative. I do feel like you guys are kind of an extension of our team, and sort of brainstorming, working together, coming up with ideas and ways to leverage, the news and our press releases and things like that, but not just that, and then the other thing is, the results that we've seen from press releases, that because it's not, I've been involved in companies before where, we put press releases out, we do a distribution system, and that's great. And they get picked up and they get put on a website and nobody ever reads them, and they amount to zero, People get real excited. New company owners get very excited about press releases, and I'm like, it's nobody's going to read them. It doesn't matter. Yeah, it's great that they're there, but who cares? So, but when you have a follow-up mechanism, and it's not just about putting it out there, but it's also about, all right, let's try and make sure that somebody actually sees it, understands what it means, maybe create some opportunities to put it elsewhere, put a little bit more of an editorial spin on it or something like that. That's what we've seen the real value of it. And honestly, after I think it was even after the first month that we were using you guys, we had, I can't say who it is right now because we're in legal with the contract. So I can't actually mention the company name, but a huge national company that was not on our radar screen reached out to us to do a partnership with them. And fingers crossed, but it's all systems go right now. It's just legal review. And I can't imagine them coming back with something that we're not going to go, okay. So it's been great. So I'm not quite sure if that answered your whole question there.
Yes. I guess just in closing thoughts, we talked about it a little bit, but we really pride ourselves on being a partner, feeling like an extension of your team. And I think that's something we look forward to our calls every week. So I would hope that you feel the same.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like I said, it's been refreshing. And I told you, I'm like a little surprised actually. So I'm pleasantly surprised. Right. So yeah, it's been really, really good. And we're a small company. So it's good to have, more pairs of eyes and people with new ideas and, and things like that. Because, well, for obvious reasons. If there's just a small number of you, you're not going to come up with the best solutions to problems and new ideas. So yeah, it's been really nice to have. It's been great.
Awesome. Well, we are very excited to end the year strong together, and I definitely appreciate your time today.
Great.
Thank you.